Hey everyone, this is Philip at Shibuya, and I hope you're all doing really well. In the past few videos on this channel, we've talked mostly about our sights, but we've had some comments and messages on our social media asking for more information about our scopes. So today, let's take a look at our ULTIMA OKULUS scope. ULTIMA OKULUS is our premium target scope. It is designed for target as well as 3D and field archery. It is a 32mm lens, which gives it an internal diameter of 29mm. The ULTIMA OKULUS scope is only 33.7 grams, which is 1.19 ounces, and that makes it one of the lightest target scopes on the market. The scope housing is machined aluminum, is matte anodized, and has machined grooves on the inside that completely eliminate any glare that would come from incoming light. ULTIMA OKULUS incorporates our revolutionary gravity shift technology. This allows it to compensate for the added weight of sunshades or other accessories and keep the center of gravity perfectly in the center at all times. ULTIMA OKULUS was designed obviously to work great on our CP Pro and CPX sights, but it does mount perfectly onto any sight that has a 1032 scope thread attachment. So any sight that will take a 1032 thread will be able to mount this scope. It does have a 5/16 cutout, so it mounts perfectly on any sight that has a hexagonal or a square 5/16 scope attachment surface, such as the CPX sights, but also Excel sights and all sorts of other sights on the market right now. The ULTIMA OKULUS system offers a variety of options for sunshades, decal rings, fiber optic sight pins, and sight light attachments. Let's open one up and take a closer look. Alright, so here we have the ULTIMA OKULUS packaging. This is the standard scope housing set. It does not come with a lens, and I will open it up and show you what it does come with. Alright, let's open that up. So up here you have the standard housing. Just tilt that up and take it out. So this is the housing. You can see the lens retainer is already screwed on there. There's no lens inside, so right now there's nothing in there. And it does come with the standard yellow bubble level. So this level is held in place with two screws down here. And if you want to use the scope in a left-handed configuration, you will have to take that level out and put it in the top slot, and then you can just turn it around and you can use it left-handed as well, so it's ambidextrous. And then down here we have a compartment that has all the accessories. So you have the hardware, aiming decals, and a centering matrix, and then we have the instruction sheet right here. So let's go over what the hardware bag contains. Here you have all the hardware that is included with the ULTIMA OKULUS scope. So you have a standard Imperial 3/32 wrench. This is not a metric wrench, unlike some of the ones that come with our sights. So please make sure to use this wrench and don't use a metric wrench for the scope. It comes with a long standard 1032 threaded rod that we recommend to use on sites that do not have the 1032 threads. Then we have a short 1032 threaded stud. This is used on sites like the ULTIMA CPX sites and CP Pro sites that do have the 1032 threaded attachment, as well as the cutout to fit the scope perfectly. And then we have 2 balance plates for the gravity shift system. So I mentioned this before, but the ULTIMA OKULUS scope includes a system to balance out the attachment weight of sunshades and the like, and you use these plates to do that. So over here on the side of the housing, you see this cutout here, and depending on which sunshades or attachments you are using, you would use one of these plates. So you can see this plate has the cutout in the center, and then the second plate has it slightly offset to the side. And you can obviously reverse that plate to use it for the other side as well. So I will put the different configurations for each sunshade attachment and each combination on the screen right now, so you can see which plate you need to use for each combination. So right now we are just using it with the lens retainer ring, so we don't have any added weight on the front or on the back that would require us to offset it via balance plates. So we will use the center balance plate, make sure it's level and it's not slanted too much, and then we can just push that right in. And it snaps in place like that, so when you hear that snap, you know it's in place and locked. All right, so let's get that scope mounted onto one of our ULTIMA CP Pro sights. You can see on the sights, they have that hexagonal cutout on the scope rod holder. Most sights on the market have something similar to this. It might be square, but it's usually 5/16 spaced, so it fits on these scopes perfectly. So we're going to take the scope and we're going to take the sight, obviously, and we will want to take the sight block off of the elevation rail. So we'll have the sight block, and then we're going to take the short 1032 threaded stud, and then we will thread that through the scope housing. So you go in from the inside until the bolt comes out the other side. This is not threaded, so you just slot it in, and then you will start attaching it to the sight. And obviously we will use the included 332 wrench. So we'll use that hex wrench, and then we'll just screw that in there. And then once the housing gets close enough to the sight, you will want to make sure that it's actually sitting in that indent, so that the connection is positive and the scope is level when compared to the sight. Okay, so we've got the scope safely mounted to our sight. Now, obviously we're gonna want a lens in that, and then we're gonna install some of our accessories as well. So the lenses that we recommend are Feather Vision lenses. This is a Feather Vision V3 lens. This is kind of their base model, I think. And then they have the Verde Plus and the Perfection lenses on top of that. We've heard from people that they had other lens manufacturers make them lenses for our scopes as well, so that'll be an option as well. So let's go and install that lens, and then we're going to put on some sunshades and maybe a fiber kit as well. Okay, let's first unscrew the lens retainer ring, and then you want to make sure that the rubber O-ring is still inside the scope, and then you will put your lens in with the convex side facing outside if it has a convex side. If it's a flat lens, you don't need to think about that. And then we'll put the lens retainer ring back on there. And then obviously if you want to use a aiming decal, you would have to put that on before you install the lens. And if you want to use a fiber, we can install that afterwards. And then if you want to use a sunshade, for example, this is our front-facing sunshade. This will just screw right into the lens retainer ring. And then we can put a back-facing sunshade into the face side of the scope as well. There you go. And then obviously we do have optional sight fiber optic kits as well. We've got some pre-installed here. For example, this is the 10,000ths of an inch fiber here. You can also see a decal kit that's installed into the rear sunshade. That's made by Precision Archery Reticles. Those are precision cut exactly to our specifications, so those will fit perfectly in there. Then you can see here the decal ring, and that's a 29,000ths inch fiber in there as well. Our fiber kits come with the red and green fibers included, and those just screw in the bottom here in this 832 threaded hole in the bottom, and then the fiber wraps around like this, and then you can just use the fiber if you prefer to use a fiber pin. And that's a few of your aiming options. Now, if you are a 3D shooter or a non-world archery field shooter, then you might want to use a sight light, and we do have options for attachment of sight lights as well. So you would want to get a sight light kit that has an 832 thread, like this LP sight light that I've got here. And then there's two 832 threaded vertical holes, cutouts in the top and bottom. So you just get your 832 threaded sight light threaded into that cutout, and then you've got your sight light. And if you're using a dot and you want to shine your sight light on that, there is an angled 832 threaded hole on the top as well. So that will angle directly at the center of the lens. So we'll just thread that in there as well. Okay, and then you can see it'll light up that dot really nice as well. So that's it for our closer look at the Ultima Okulus scopes. I hope I managed to answer all your questions. If there's anything left unanswered, please let me know in the comments. And if you have any other topics that you would like me to talk about on this channel, make sure to drop those as well. We'll do our best to keep on top of those requests and make sure you get the most out of this channel. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again.